What's up, guys? How we doing? What a great race. This was an instant classic. Yeah, it was awesome. And hearing Jeremy Martin, normally I'm against having active riders, doing their thing. And, I don't like them in the booth because they usually hold back. They won't tell you anything. Not Jeremy Martin. He let it fly. He even dropped a frickin' out there. It was awesome. So, J Mart, man, you might have a career afterward as an announcer. He's one of my favorites of this year, and we've had some good ones, like Brock Glover's awesome, Jeremy Martin's awesome. Yeah, I really like this whole rotating color, man. It's pretty badass. I want to thank everybody. This channel is growing so fast. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, so thank you guys. It's awesome. The Cooksey Mob is growing fast, and yeah, so let's get into this thing.
I'm in the empire business.
Everybody love everybody!
You all know exactly who I am.
All right, guys, you need to cherish what we saw yesterday. What we saw yesterday was one of the most epic battles of will and heart and risking everything to try and win between Chase Sexton and Eli Tomac. This was one of those it was just a guy who wants to be a champion and a three-time champion literally laying it all out on the line. I mean, they left it all on the track. I was just on the edge of my seat the whole time. First moto, Chase did really good. I mean, he had Eli, he covered him, but he made that mistake. That's the difference between a 23-year-old trying to win his first championship and a three-time champion. Doesn't make those mistakes. He's cleaned them up. Those are the things that Eli used to do, if you remember, and he's cleaned them up, and that's just not who he is anymore. It's pretty epic to watch. I mean, this is an Ali Frazier. I hit you, you hit me. We're just going until somebody falls down. And if you've been able to figure out this whole streaming matrix puzzle they've got on how to see these nationals, and you're over at Flow Sports watching it, it's a treat, man. Unfortunately, probably not a ton of people are watching this, and a lot of people are missing it, but they are missing one of the best series I've ever seen. It's pretty good. I mean, Eli, that second moto, his buckle came undone. His pants are half off. Chase is pushing him. I mean, he had dropped the field. Okay, if you guys have ever ridden with your pants down, it sucks. I've had a buckle break, and I just kept riding. You just keep riding. Your ass is hanging out there. It's uncomfortable. You make a lot of mistakes you wouldn't make because your ass is hanging out, but not Eli. He was able to block it out. This is something he couldn't do early in his career. Early in his career, something like this happens. He pulls off, pulls over. He has those weird moments. Not this Eli. This Eli is so mentally strong. I mean, he went beast mode, got into the lead, but then it was crazy because Chase was actually able to latch onto him. And in the post-race press conference, it was funny because Eli was like, yeah, Chase is really good at catching on to what we're doing and matching my pace. And I don't think Eli's had a guy that could really do that on a regular basis since I can remember. And it is making for some amazing racing. But yeah, Chase has to stop this, though. That's, what, 7 motos in a row? 8, something like that. But now he's down 5 points. He easily could have left with a 1-point lead had he not made that one mistake. So he's given away 6 points this year, and he's down by 5. And the swing would be even further because, because he gave 3 and lost 3. So actually, he's given up 6, he's given up like 9 points. Those 9 points in the end of this may end up costing him, but we'll have to see. Jason Anderson, he looks good, but he looks like a guy who's went, okay, these guys are going next level. I'm not going to win the championship. If I'm there for the moto, I might go for it, but if I'm not, I'm just going to take the podium, settle down for 3rd. He looks really good. He's not a guy who's done a ton of outdoor racing. He's kind of a supercross specialist. He's a supercross champion, but he's looking really good outdoors. And I still expect him to get in there and mix it up. And it was funny in practice. He kind of messed with Eli, and I don't know what that was all about. I don't know if they got into each other or I don't know what the deal was, but yeah, if I'm Eli, I'm going over there and saying, hey, what's up, dude? What did I do? Are we good? And maybe buy some Team Fried merchandise, whatever I got to do to be, good with him. Ken Roxon. Oh boy, I love Ken. Ken is a legend of the sport. he had 2 big ones. Now this goes one of 2 ways. Typically, when Ken Roczen has a big crash, it scares him and he backs off. Both of these crashes, he looked like he was relatively okay, even though they were pretty big crashes. Sometimes it happens and you go, huh. It almost gives you confidence, like, oh, I can crash and not shatter like glass. It's going to be interesting to see what happens at Washougal, if this builds his confidence or if he decides to take back the extra 5 or 10% that he's been giving and ride conservative. So we'll have to see at Washougal. Christian Craig, I knew he'd be good there. 3rd in the second moto, 4th overall. Like I said, I owed him an apology from last week at Southwick when I was describing how he was going to do. I was like, no more for Christian Craig. This dude is he's really good. Dungey, I didn't expect him to get on the podium. I expect him to get on the podium at Washougal. Washougal, he's always good. For whatever reason, it's kind of funny. Villopoto used to always beat Dungey at Millville, and Dungey would beat Villopoto at Washougal. You know, their home tracks, they would swap. Dungey's good at Washougal for whatever reason, and then they get a week break, and then we enter that final 4 races, which I call the 3rd period. So Dungey will get the podium, and I think he'll get it next week. And Epic Garage Designs. Hey, have you seen the garages? If you want the Ultimate Man Cave, it's badass. Just go check out the website, epicgaragedesigns.com. Travis and Jessica can build you whatever you want, ship them anywhere in the country. Make your man cave badass. But yeah, epicgaragedesigns.com. And in the 250 class, Jett Lawrence. I mean, he is absolutely feeling it. He is 100% dialed in. Jett Lawrence, so I'm a big guy in like energy, karma, law of attraction. And what happens is winning breeds winning. Winning and confidence, you get lucky. It's not an accident. It happens way too often to make it like an accident. There's something that chemically happens or your body puts out. You get lucky when you feel like the man. Right now, Jett is just flowing with abundance and it's all going his way. I mean, on a bad day, he goes 2-2 and takes the overall. Yeah, I mean, he's really on. Hunter is the epitome of the opposite. He's kind of like gripping. He's kind of in lack. He wants it so hard and he's trying so hard and he's just swimming against the stream. And it's weird how your energy blocks you when you do that. If you can't be abundant, I'm a big Joe Dispenza guy. I do the meditations, I do all that. So it's funny to watch somebody in racing magnifies this stuff for you so you can kind of take a look at it. Hunter's in lack, Jett is in abundance. And that's why things are rolling Jett's way and they're rolling away from Hunter, where he's leading and there's a red flag. He makes a mistake with a lap to go, and that was totally his fault with those lappers. If you look at the sand whoops, he needed to look a little bit further ahead, and you could tell both those lappers were going to the outside. He needed to cut to the inside. He didn't do it, cost him the moto. So, and then Joe Schmoda, dude, this guy's good. He's feeling it. He's building every week. He's got confidence. He is the 2nd or 3rd best guy every single week. That's not something you could have said a long time ago. He's coming right around. Justin Cooper, looking good. I don't think people understand how bad his foot was. I was actually, one of my best friends, Jameson Norda, is a podiatrist. He couldn't believe he was actually even going to be able to race this season. That's a 12-month injury that he had. Yes, these guys are super athletes, they heal fast, but still, that's a big deal. And for him to come back, get his confidence, and battle up front, he made that one mistake, on the first lap of the first moto where he dumped it. Had it not been for that, I think he'd have been on the podium, 1st, 2nd. But he's putting it together, he's doing what he needs to do. It's going to be interesting to see. So he pointed out in Supercross, I'm hearing that he's going to do a outdoor-only contract next year, but will he race Supercross as a privateer team and a 450? Like, what's he going to do? Yeah, that's a weird conundrum right there. But I hope he figures something out because these guys deserve to make a living, and yeah. And then my buddy, Styles Robertson, he got caught up in that giant pileup in the 2nd moto. I was super disappointed to see him hauled off with his foot up, looking like it was injured. I texted him today. He said it's sore, banged up. He's getting an MRI tomorrow. We'll know more, but hey, wishing the best for Styles Robertson. He's had such a great season. Even if he has to call it right now, this season's a success. He did enough to establish himself as a guy who can be next level. When he goes to Star in October, that's when he gets his Star Yamaha ride, October 1. Look for this kid. I 100%, I don't want to put too many expectations on him because, I mean, he's got 2 podiums at Daytona. He's got 1 podium outdoors. But I expect him to be a consistent podium guy, maybe get some wins, maybe even be a championship guy. I love his style. I love his personality. And I look for him to be a star in this sport. Ryder DeFrancesco was out there as his second rookie ride. Looked really good inside the top 10. And my buddy Talon Hawkins made his debut. Probably not the best debut. It's tough, though, when you go from amateur racing and jump right in there with all those pros. If you're not feeling it, it can get you shuffled back. I hope he stays amateur for another year or so. You know, a 19th place is not what the factories are looking for. They want to see flashes. It's okay, but there was no flash. If you start 8th and then have a flash, dump it, and then finish 19th, that's fine. But if you run 19th, qualify 17th, they don't like that. So I would say stay amateur, dial that in, and then make a bigger splash in 2024, somewhere around there. And also, let's not forget, I think Talon Hawkins is he's more of a supercross specialist. He's really good at technical stuff, and maybe outdoors isn't his jam. Maybe he's a supercross, and maybe he'll go eventually end up in supercross, world supercross, because things are going to change in the next couple of years as far as what riders are doing. And make sure you cherish this outdoor series. This outdoor series is kind of like the last one before all these riders leave and stop doing this. The factories are pissed. They're not happy that the coverage sucks. They pay all this money to go racing to sell bikes, to get coverage. And when the promoters screw it up and don't give them what they pay for, how do they go back to the executives and say, hey, we need millions of dollars to get hundreds of thousands of views? No, we need a lot more views than that. And they go, well, if we just put something on YouTube, we can get way more for less. And it's just, they need to do a better job at marketing the series, marketing the riders, or returning money so these teams can actually make a profit. They need to take a look at World Supercross, F1, and these successful racing business models and copy them. It's not too late. Save the Nationals, do the right thing. All right, guys. Hey, thank you for everything. Cooksy Mob is growing so fast. Those of you who subscribed and like the notifications, thank you. Had a great time on the Prediction Live show. I'll be honest with you, those are my favorite shows because I get to talk to you guys and answer questions, and it's right before the race and just kind of build up the hype. So after practice, about 20 or 30 minutes on YouTube, I go live and chat with you guys and give you my predictions. This week, predictions didn't hold up so well. I had Sexton. I did have Jett, but as if that's like a hard prediction. So anyway, thanks guys, and you have a good day.